You think you're in control, but in the world of money and markets, your brain is lying to you. Every time you invest, every time you trade, every time you think you made a smart financial decision, there's a secret bias convincing you that you saw something others couldn't, that you figured it out, that you beat the market. This is the illusion of control, one of the most dangerous biases in behavioral finance. First discovered and deeply studied by Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman and his lifelong research partner Amos Tversky. And here's what they found. The human brain hates uncertainty. So when we face randomness, we create the illusion of control. Because the truth is, the market is unpredictable. But your brain refuses to accept that. You buy a stock because you saw a strong trend, you watched a confident YouTuber say, "This is the one." You've made a similar trade before and it worked, so your mind goes, "I understand this. I know what I'm doing." But statistically, you don't. Even professional investors get it wrong. Even hedge funds lose billions. If experts can't consistently outsmart the market, what makes us think we can? Kahneman discovered something shocking. The more confident we are in a prediction, the more wrong we usually are. Confidence creates blindness. We ignore risk, we avoid accepting mistakes, we believe success with skill, never luck. Ask yourself, when you make money from a trade, do you say, "I got lucky," or do you say, "I'm really smart"? Exactly. Your brain builds control where none exists using 3 traps. 1. Pattern seeking. See signals that aren't real. A small trend looks like a big prediction. 2. Overconfidence is from luck becomes proof of your skill. 3. Emotional memory. You remember the wins more than the losses. The illusion becomes stronger over time until reality crashes it. In chess, every move matters. You control the board. In the stock market, millions of decisions, global events, algorithms faster than news you never saw coming. And yet, you scroll a chart, you draw a line, you convince yourself, "This makes sense. I can predict what happens next." But Kahneman warned, what you see is all there is. Meaning, we make decisions based only on the tiny piece of information in front of us, and we ignore everything else that truly matters. Because when you think you control outcomes, you trade too much, risk too much, hold losers too long, blame others when it goes wrong. Losses become temporary, mistakes become market manipulation, warnings become FUD. The illusion protects your ego, but destroys your wallet. Combine the illusion of control with greed, paroxysm, you get chaos. You start predicting the unpredictable. You treat gambling like strategy. You take bigger and bigger bets, until one day, the market proves who was in control all along. Pause. Think. How many times have you said, "This one can't fail, has to bounce back. I know what I'm doing"? If you have ever thought that, the illusion of control already owns you. You might not admit it out loud, but deep in your mind, there's a voice that says, "I see something others don't." It feels incredible, right? It feels powerful, almost special. This is ego-based overconfidence, another behavioral bias deeply connected to the illusion of control. Daniel Kahneman's studies show that people consistently believe they are better than average in almost everything. Better drivers, better decision makers, better investors. Statistically impossible, but psychologically guaranteed. Your brain wants to believe you have unique insights, you are ahead of the crowd, you are destined to win, because if the market is random, then your success is luck. And your brain hates that idea. Luck feels uncomfortable. Luck feels fragile. Luck means you aren't in control. So instead, your mind builds a story. "I made that one happen. I'm talented. I understand the game." Even when the win was pure chance. The first win is the most dangerous because it tricks you into believing you've mastered something, when in reality, you've only gotten a taste of luck. It creates emotional proof. "I did it once. I can do it again." And the illusion gets stronger. You take bigger risks. You stop researching. You trust your gut over data until the market reminds you. Your gut has no idea what it's doing. The market doesn't reward intelligence, it rewards discipline. It rewards patience. It rewards risk management. But we think intelligence is the key. We think we can outhink billions of other minds. Kahneman warned, the brains that made us smart also make us predictably irrational. You can have a high IQ and still make the same emotional mistakes every investor makes. Because intelligence doesn't protect you from your own psychology. The brain loves patterns, even fake ones. Our ancestors survived by recognizing patterns. Fire burns. Snakes bite. This plant kills. Recognizing patterns equals survival. But in markets, patterns are often random noise, coincidence, chaos pretending to make sense. Yet your brain grabs onto them and whispers, "You've cracked the code." No, you've only found a pattern in randomness. And randomness does not repeat. Traders believe they're better than they are even when the numbers prove they're not. Kahneman studied day traders for years. His conclusion: most of their success is luck. Almost none of it is skill, and they never realize it, because winning just feels too good to question. The illusion grows when money is involved, because money equals achievements to worth. So when we make money, we feel validated, we feel intelligent, we feel in control, and that becomes addictive. Not the money, not the trade, the feeling of being right. That's why losses feel so personal when a trade goes bad. It's not just financial pain, it's ego pain. It feels like, I failed, I'm not as smart as I thought, I'm losing control. So instead of accepting the loss, we hold the stock forever, add more money into a sinking investment, blame the market, the news, or other people, admitting we were wrong. That hurts more than losing money. The market has no main character. You are not the hero of the story. No matter how good you feel, no matter how certain you are, no matter what your gut tells you, the market does not care. There is no destiny here, no chosen one, no single person who can bend randomness to their will. Quick self-test: have you ever said, "This stock can only go up, others are panicking, but I know better"? Not like those emotional traders. If yes, you are controlled by the illusion of control. The moment you think you're smarter than the market will prove you wrong. There is a moment in every investor's journey, a moment more dangerous than being a complete beginner. It's when you know a little, just enough to feel confident, but not enough to understand the risks. Psychologists call this the peak of Mount Stupid. You learn a few strategies, you watch a few videos, you make a few profitable trades, and suddenly, I get it now, I can do this better than most. That confidence spike? Deadly. Because while confidence increases, your actual skill is still near zero. This is the illusion at full power. Kahneman's warning: we are blind to our blindness, meaning, you don't know what you don't know. You feel certain, but it's false certainty, and false certainty leads to real losses. The invisible trap. This time is different. Every failed investor once believed this sentence: others lose money because they're emotional, but I am rational. I have a plan. I'm smarter. But when the market turns against them, they become the emotional trader they made fun of. Because the illusion of control does not just boost confidence, it disconnects your actions from reality. The two systems in your brain. Kahneman's most famous discovery: your financial decisions come from System 1: fast, emotional, impulsive, instant confidence, instant action. Buy now, don't miss out. System 2: slow, logical, rational, questions, analyzes, challenges, opinions. Most people believe they are using System 2. But in money, System 1 runs the show. That quick decision, that sudden conviction, that feeling of, I know this will work. That is System 1 taking control and pretending to be intelligent. The brain wants action. Waiting feels weak. Research feels boring. Patience feels like losing. Action feels like control. So even when doing nothing would protect your money, you act anyway. Because the illusion whispers, if you move, you win. But the market does not reward movement. It punishes unnecessary risk. Confidence makes you ignore probability. You say, it won't drop. This dip is temporary. It always comes back. But markets don't care about your beliefs. They move with or without your approval. Confidence tricks you into betting big in events that are very unlikely. You mistake possibility for certainty. And certainty is the most expensive emotion in the market. Love and attachment to your own ideas. You fall in love with your analysis. Your prediction becomes part of your identity. So when the market disagrees, you argue with it. You deny reality. You double down on a bad decision. Because losing money hurts, but losing belief in yourself hurts more. The breaking point illusion of control can survive for months, until one trade goes very, very wrong. Then you feel a confusion abanitari think. That shouldn't have happened. I did everything right. Why did the market do this to me? But the market didn't target you. It didn't even notice you existed. That's the brutal truth. You never had control. You only believed you did. Confidence without skill equals disaster. A beginner knows they don't know enough, so they play safe. A professional knows they still don't know enough, so they protect risk. Only the person in the middle feels invincible, and that's where the market strikes hardest. Before every trade or decision, ask, what if I'm wrong? If the answer scares you, your confidence is fake. You cannot eliminate this bias. Nobody can, not even experts. But you can learn to control the illusion of control. Because here's the truth. You don't need to predict the market to succeed in it. What you need is a system that protects you from the most dangerous opponent in finance, your own mind. Step 1. Replace prediction with probability. Stop asking, where will this stock go? Start asking, what might happen? And how do I prepare for each outcome? The moment you think something must happen, you've already lost. Step 2. Separate ego from money. Your investment is not your identity or intelligentsia, pretty or worth. It's a number. It goes up and down. Detach emotions from decisions. Money doesn't care how you feel. Step 3. Respect risk more than reward. Amateurs chase profits. Professionals manage danger. Always ask, how much can I lose? If you don't know the answer, you are not investing. You are gambling. Step 4. Track your decisions. Write down why you bought what you expect. What would make you sell when the illusion takes over. Your notes expose the lies your brain creates later. This builds accountability. Step 5. Embrace uncertainty. Daniel Kahneman said, confidence is a feeling, not evidence. Uncertainty isn't weakness. Uncertainty is wisdom. It means you understand the truth. You can't control outcomes. You can only control behavior, and behavior determines results. Think like a scientist, not a fortune teller. Scientists don't know. They test. They adapt. They learn. They stay humble. They build decisions on data, not dopamine. The best investors do the same. Your brain will constantly try to trick you back into confidence. Even now, a small voice might be saying, this is interesting, but I'm not like those other people. That's the illusion speaking, and it never shuts up. You must fight it every single time you make a financial decision. Repeat these truths. I cannot control the market. I cannot predict the future and control my decisions. I can control my risk. I can avoid stupid mistakes. That is true power. This is how you become wealthier. Not by appearing smart, but by refusing to act stupid. So ask yourself, are you trying to prove you're right or trying to become right? Only one of those protects your money. What looks like control is often a trap. Your brain believes it's the boss, but the market will always remind you who's really in charge. You don't need complete control to win. You just need to control your behavioral emotions, your decisions. That's how you invest like a rational thinker in a world full of emotional gamblers. If you choose humility over ego and discipline over excitement, you will survive. You will grow. You will win. If this opened your eyes, hit like so more people can understand the truth. And subscribe to Mind Over Money for more psychology and investing insights based on Daniel Kahneman's Nobel Prize-winning research. Because your brain controls your money. Unless you learn to control your brain,